At WWDC 26, Apple released Xcode 27, and in addition to giving us fancy new color themes, they also invested heavily into their agentic coding experience. Today, I'm going to show you how to install Gemini into Xcode 27, and then we'll also build a fun little application with it. Let's get started. So here I'm in Xcode 27, and this is a Hello World program that you get when you start a new project. So let's first go into the settings, and under Intelligence, you see all of the coding agents that are currently supported. Claude Agent, Codex, and Gemini. You can even bring your own agent if it supports the Agent Client protocol. This is something that I might do a video about later, but today let's install Gemini. To do that, first click on the Get button and then tap Install to install Gemini into Xcode. So this is a fairly quick download, and once it has finished, we'll need to go and connect it to our Gemini instance, and we do that by signing in. So here I'm not signed in. I've got 3 different options to do that. I can provide an API key from Google AI Studio, and that is what I'm going to show you today. You can also provide a Google API key for Gemini Enterprise Agent Platform, and that is relevant if you work in a company. Or you can authenticate with configuration files. Again, something that we can do a video about later on. Let me know if that's something you're interested in. Let's get a Gemini API key from Google AI Studio. So I need an API key, and to get one, I can click on this link here. It takes me to a page in the documentation, and here we've got this friendly blue button that I can click on to jump straight into Google AI Studio, and it shows me an overview of all of my projects, and I can filter that by project. So I typically use this project here for all my coding agent related API keys, and I'm going to create a new one here, Gemini API key for Xcode, and let's create it. Oh, and by the way, don't even consider trying to copy that API key from the screen, because I will burn it after this recording is over. So I've copied it, pasted it into this field here, tap on Done, and then let's see if this has refreshed yet. No, so we'll just back out of the settings dialog, go back, and then it should be here. So we've got a couple of different models we can use. I'm going to go with Gemini 3 Auto, so that will automatically switch to the model that is most suitable for the task at hand. Maybe it's going to use a Flash or even Flash Lite model for easy work, and for stuff where we need to do heavy thinking, it will probably use one of the Pro models. Cool. So, and that's it. So now we can use Gemini to build something. I'm going to click on this button here, and it says New Conversation with Gemini. So, do you remember the iBeer app? It was super popular when the iPhone first came out. Let's rebuild that, but with a twist. Hey, I want to replicate the iBeer app, but instead of letting the user drink beer, I want to let them drink emojis. Can you please come up with an application for that? And because I want to tell Gemini to first plan, I'm going to prefix that with /plan. So send this off, and you can see that it turns plan mode on, and now we can see the agent doing its work. It's starting to think. It updated the conversation to create application to drink emojis, and here we go. So it suggests using SpriteKit and Swift UI. It will use core motion for detecting the device tilt. and then it's going to define a boundary at the top of the screen so I can drink from the top of the screen. Nice. And it also adds a refilling gesture by tapping or shake to refill. Nice. That sounds great. Yes, this sounds great. Go ahead. So I'm curious because it said, I'll draft up the formal implementation plan. I think it'll still stay in plan mode for a little bit. And yeah, so it's putting together the implementation plan. And then it asks me, hey, are you happy to go into build mode? But before, let me see if I can see the implementation plan by clicking here. Okay, here's our implementation plan. It's a markdown file and it has an objective. It shows the implementation steps. And for verification and testing, it just says run on the simulator and then run on device, because we need to access sensors that you can only properly access on a physical device. That all sounds good to me. So let's go back and then allow to exit plan mode. And now it's going to go into execution mode or build mode. So while it's doing that, I'm going to turn on these checkboxes here in the filter dialog so that we can actually see what's going on. And at one point, so turning on verbose shows the thinking, and turning on show artifacts should show us the code that it's building. Let's see. Okay, so now it's working on the physics engine. Drinking mechanics. I wonder what happens if I click on one of those things. No, nothing. Sometimes it shows the code in this window over here. Okay, so apparently it did everything in the content view. And the build was successful. So we can now run this on a physical device. I've got my test phone here. So I'm going to run this on this test phone. So the application is starting up. And let's see. Okay, it always takes a while. Okay, here we go. And okay, so the emojis float around. So let's see if I can actually drink. Oh! Okay, so it was a little bit hard to see. Let me refill. So I think the problem there is when I turn the phone, it rotates into landscape mode. So let's see if the agent is smart enough to fix this. So when I try to drink and I tilted the phone, it went into landscape orientation. How can we fix this? I also think that the selection of emojis is still very much oriented towards alcohol, so I want to change that. And also the UI is a little bit light, so it's really hard to see what's going on. So did it run the app again? No. Okay, so let's do that as well. Can you also make sure that the UI is not as bright as it is? It's really hard to read. And another thing, I want to make sure that this application is friendly for all users. So instead of using alcohol-themed emojis, let's use fruit-themed emojis. Can you do that, please, for me? And while it's doing that, we can quickly take a look if it was successful in updating the build settings. So if we go into our project configuration under General, we should see the iPhone orientation. So apparently that did not work because we'll have to make sure that we only use portrait. I'm going to do that manually. And then let's go back to our conversation. Hello. This one. I've updated the application to be more user-friendly, accessible, and inclusive. Fruit-themed experience, improved readability, and larger emojis. Nice. So let's do this again. And in addition to showing it on the phone, I'm also going to show it on the device hub so that you can better see what is going on. So this is synchronized between my phone and the device hub. So once I start tilting the phone, you should see it on the device hub. Okay, nice. Cool, so let's try. Tasty. And I drank all the fruit. Let's see if shake to refill works. Nope, I need to press the button. Here we go. All right, nice. Delicious. All right, and there you have it. Adding Xcode, adding Gemini to Xcode is just something that you can do in a matter of minutes, and you can then use it to build the iPhone apps of your dreams. And hopefully they're going to be more creative than an iBeer clone. Let me know what you build. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you never miss out when I ship something new. Also, please feel free to leave a comment to tell me what you're interested in so I know what kind of videos to produce going forward. All right, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.